nice guys finish last. Are you actually stupid? Because when has being nice to people not worked?
1000% correct, and I hate when I hear guys saying this nice guys finish last trend. Like, that is obviously not true. 99% of the time, every time you hear a guy saying like, oh yeah, this girl just doesn't like nice guys, it's a guy who is socially so unaware, and he's not being a nice guy. He doesn't pick up on social cues, and this girl's not interested in him. I remember one time I was talking to this guy at the gym who I didn't really know too well, but we always caught up at the gym, and he was telling me about how him and his girl that broke up like a year ago, how she doesn't like nice guys, and this was his example. They were dating for like a year, and at one point he lost his job, and they were getting a little bit behind on the rent money, and then he got caught, at a strip club spending over $1,000, on what. She, of course, didn't take very politely to this, and they broke up. She used to tell me that she doesn't like nice guys because eventually he did get a job, and he Venmo'd her back the $1,000 that he spent. He says, I sent her flowers to her mom's address, to her work, to her house, and then she wasn't responding, so I showed up at her job, and she's screaming at me. This new guy that she's at work with, escorted me out, and it's just like, oh my God, she doesn't like nice guys. He told me that story voluntarily. That is not you being a nice guy. That is you overstepping your boundary, and you are actually a bad person in the story. Listen, that might have been an egregious example of what the nice guys example is. I hear this too many times where guys will be like, yeah, girls don't like nice guys. And it is just so obvious. You guys do not pick up on social cues. You're not being a nice guy. She just doesn't like you, and she doesn't want your nice guy energy. Secondly, a lot of the guys who are complaining about being a nice guy, most of the time, it's just these guys do not have a personality. Their whole personality is like, I'm a nice guy. But in reality, like, you don't have any hobbies, you don't have a personality, you're not funny, and the girl thinks you're boring. And you're mistaking that as she doesn't like nice guys. Who wouldn't want a nice person? Like logic is just not existing in these people's brain. That's just my opinion, but hey, what do you think?
Why do women set aside the best guys in the friend zone? You might even think of yourself as a guy who's one of the best guys that could be with her, but instead, she puts you in the friend zone. There's a saying that goes, nice guys finish last. I like to say, nice guys don't finish at all. I've said this in previous reels. The quality of being nice is not one of the qualities that has the biggest effect on whether a woman is going to be attracted to you. Full disclaimer, that doesn't mean that you have to be rude or mean or offensive. It just means that when you're simply and only being nice, that doesn't work. So what does work? I'll give you one word. Tension. You ever wonder why flirting works so well? It's because there's tension. There's a tension between you and the woman. So if there is no tension, if there is no flirting, and it's just you being nice, maybe you're giving her tons of compliments, doing favors for her, being a shoulder to cry on, there's no tension there. Any woman and any man who have ever gotten together in the history of time have gotten together and been attracted to each other because of tension. Nice guys don't build tension. So when a nice guy is doing nice things around a woman to get her attention, it's not moving the needle, it's going totally unnoticed, and you're not sparking any emotions. Stop focusing on only being nice. Start focusing on building that tension.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? See, shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women. The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance. As a woman who's trying to embody her feminine energy, you're not going to catch me going up to the guy. You're just not. We can just stare at each other. See, shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women, because guys don't do that anymore. If God were to guarantee that your 20th person would be the love of your life, you would be so happy to be rejected by all 19. So why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? We don't chase. We signal like, you can come up to me now. But all men do is just look at you now. And of course, like, if the woman is interested, she's going to keep looking your way too. But it just like stays like that. Nothing ever happens. Because men don't walk up to women anymore. Or they're just tired of being rejected. But it's like, if God were to tell you that you're going to go through 20 rejections before you get to your yes, and that's going to be the love of your life, you guys would be so happy to go through all 20 because you would just be so closer to the love of your life. Come on, guys. You guys got to do better.
I think it's so funny when women come onto this app, especially leftist women, and they go, where are all the good men? Like, I just don't understand why no one approaches me at this bar when I look so good. First of all, most of you guys overestimate the way that you look. Second of all, are you forgetting that you spent the last decade telling men that they're of no value, that you don't need them, that you don't want them around? Are you forgetting the really common trend of all men? Or the other common trend of blaming a man for everything. It's always a man's fault, never a woman's fault. Do you remember the last decade making guys scared to come up to women because they thought they'd be accused of some sort of harassment if they flirt with you? Or how about giving them these arbitrary rules of how they have to be, over 6 feet and making like $1 million a year and having to do all this for you while you can just be whoever you want, look at whatever way that you want, and you automatically deserve it. Because any man should just be lucky enough to be in the presence of you because you are a woman and so you are inherently perfect and moral and a goddess. Yeah, I wouldn't want to date that either. I absolutely would not want to date that either. So when you ask where all the good men are, I mean, they are absolutely still around. There are so many good men in the world. But I think a lot of them are freaked out, and I think they're rightfully freaked out. Men don't want a woman to compete with them. Men don't want a woman to bog them down constantly, to emasculate them. Like, girl, you drove them away years ago. Years and years and years ago.
Do you know what kind of man scares women the most today? It's not the rich man. It's not the handsome one. It's not the loud, confident guy either. It's the man who was once broken and rebuilt himself. That man isn't afraid of abandonment. He's already felt real silence. He's already faced deep loneliness. He went through the hardest moment of his life and realized he could still stand on his own. He learned to cook for himself, to clean, to build his own routine, to wake up with purpose and sleep with peace, to live without depending on anyone. And when a man truly learns to be alone, he becomes very difficult to control. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't beg for love. He doesn't accept crumbs or confusion. He knows his worth. He sets boundaries. He walks away when he's not valued. He's already cried alone. He's already struggled in silence. He's already faced storms with no one by his side. So he's not afraid of losing anyone anymore, because he knows exactly what he brings to the table. He offers loyalty, strength, and peace, not desperation. So tell me, is that man dangerous? Or just finally free?
I firmly believe that the red pill is one of the most degenerate and demonic agendas out there. It is literally the male version of feminism. It tells men to act like man children and play around with women and spin plates and just sleep with or date around as many girls as you possibly can, build up this whole roster, but do not commit to any of them. They frame like this dating life as freedom, the ability to do whatever you want to do, but in all reality, it is just the avoidance of responsibility. It's degenerate. A lot of guys, even Christian men, have been brainwashed by this ideology, even though it does not align with the Bible at all. And it goes completely against the nuclear family, because if you're a man and all you're doing is chasing girls and sleeping around with women, but you're not committing to any of them, you're not going to get married. You're just going to, stack up a bunch of bodies and a bunch of soul ties and end up wasting your time and all of these women's time and breaking their hearts and leaving a trail of, trauma and issues behind yourself out of selfishness and ego and pride. And in all reality, especially as a Christian man, you don't have to do any of that crap to attract or keep the right woman in your life.
Men don't like women because now everything that used to be cherished and prized is now seen on an Instagram post.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get to. It's not hard to see.
There's nothing left to secrecy at all.
I can literally take you for dinner for $50 and sleep with you the same night. Bring shame back.
Yeah. There's nothing sacred anymore.
Shame back. We need to have sacredness. I think you can still be feminine. Just because you're inside of a masculine dominated industry or a male dominated industry does not mean that you can't do it. It just means when you go home, if you want a masculine man, you got to take that off.
So
you got to be able to separate.
Let's go back to the video then.
Okay.
How do you feel about this woman no longer being turned on by her man who cowered from a fight?
When he got when a punch was coming.
Yeah.
I feel like that's human, but I'm also not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. So I can't, I don't know. I don't know. She's like, take that. I don't want to take no hit to the face if I don't have to. What are we talking about?
All right. What are you guys' thoughts on this? My 20-year-old son doesn't date. His friends don't date. My friends' kids don't date. What is going on? When I was in my late teens and early 20s, life for my friends and me revolved around meeting girls. My son and his friends, who are athletic now going, don't seem to put a lot of emphasis on dating. They play a lot of online video games and have boys outings. Once in a while, one will hook up with a random girl they meet on an app. Rarely does one have a girlfriend. This seems to be the norm for my friends' kids too. What is going on? Guys, what are you guys seeing? What are you hearing? Is this true in your life as well? Are you seeing this as well? Because I've seen multiple posts like this pop up, and a lot of the comments are saying that they're seeing this happen a lot. So what is your thoughts? Ooh, are a lot of men just walking away from the game?
So I usually agree with Santiago on a lot of stuff, but I got to push back a little bit. Because you hear a lot of modern women say, I want a man who yearns. I want a man who begs. And so this guy's in a relationship. He loses his job. He goes out and does something. It's not only stupid, it's financially irresponsible. You know, and we get behind on rent and you're going out to these clubs, man. You like, we could lose. If you're in an apartment, you can get evicted. That goes on my credit, man. You can really ruin my credit. And if we're in a house, it's even worse because it's a foreclosure. That stuff goes on my credit and it ruins me. So I understand it from that perspective. I get it. But if he then goes and says, because you never really know with a lot of these, well, you didn't fight for the relationship, da da da. But then he goes and he says, okay, let me go back and pay the 1,000 or whatever. So he goes back and pays that. He sends her flowers. I personally wouldn't have showed up at her job. But this is what some women have asked for. You know, where are the men who show up outside your window with a boombox proclaiming love? You see it on TV. Men just be showing up at the job. And it's in the context of a relationship. So it's not some random man. It's in the context of a relationship. And everything goes great. What are you doing here? I'm not supposed to love you anymore. But here I am, loving you in your arms. Kiss me and take me now. That's what, and they be telling men, watch this movie. You want, what's one of those movies? Now, I have never seen this movie. I'm just saying, When Harry Met Sally, watch that movie to know what women want. Okay, I mean, I guess I can do that. That's a little bit weird. Watch The Notebook to see what women want. Again, weird. So what would seem like common sense and a man shouldn't do, modern women are actually saying, no, this is what I want. I want a man to be obsessed with me like this. I want him to yearn. I want him to beg. That's what they're actually asking. So he might not have gotten, I mean, once again, I probably wouldn't do that because, you know, if the relationship is older, the relationship is over. Now, if you want to come back and apologize for what you're doing and say, hey, man, here's a 1K back, you know, the least I can do is pay you back for that. All right. You know, but other, like, going to her job and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't do because, you know, no, I'm not going to be doing that. Right. Like I said, I apologized. But modern women, I just don't want us to act like it's like completely out of left field that a man might do this.
Ladies, if you're going to chase a man, make sure his name is Benjamin. Benjamin Franklin, to be exact. The one that's printed on the $100 bill. As a divorce lawyer, I say that only half joking because money solves a shocking number of problems that love alone cannot. Chase your own financial independence first, because the moment a woman can take care of herself financially, the entire dating dynamic changes. Suddenly, you're not negotiating for survival. You're not tolerating nonsense because you can't afford to leave. You're not staying with someone who drains your peace because the rent is due next week. Money gives you options, and options is power. I see the difference all the time. The women who struggle the most in bad relationships are usually the ones who feel financially trapped. They're calculating groceries, childcare, housing, and legal fees in their head while trying to decide whether they can leave. Meanwhile, the women who built their own stability walk into my office with a very different energy. They're not desperate, they're strategic. There is also a hilarious double standard around this. When a man focuses on money, people call him ambitious. When a woman focuses on money, suddenly she is shallow. Apparently, men are allowed to build wealth, but women are supposed to build character. Character does not pay your electricity bill. When a woman has her own Benjamin Franklins, she stops chasing men altogether. She starts evaluating them. Suddenly, the question is not, does he like me? The question becomes, does he add anything meaningful to my life? Financial responsibility should absolutely be part of that evaluation. You do not have to marry a billionaire, but marrying someone who understands work, discipline, and stability matters, because relationships are hard enough without adding financial chaos into the mix. If you are going to chase a man, chase Benjamin Franklin. He shows up consistently, he respects boundaries, and he never gaslights you about the electric bill. And unlike some men, Benjamin always contributes to the household.
You know what I think? I think there are no guys who want a serious relationship in 2024.
And you want to know what I think? I think you're 100% correct, young lady. And the reason is because there's no benefit to men anymore. And we keep telling you ladies this over and over again. Men have looked at relationships. They've done an analysis and they've realized there's absolutely no return on investment in getting into a relationship with you. Now, a lot of you are thinking that that's not true because, well, you're still getting attention from men. But you see, the mistake you're making is you think that men are giving you that attention because they want to be in a relationship with you. When the reality is, they just want to have a little fun, if you catch my drift. You see, today's women have made it abundantly clear that they have extremely high expectations, unrealistic ones at that. They feel they can demand, and offer absolutely nothing in return except, well, this, whatever that is. And they don't show the least bit of kindness, caring, or consideration for men. So men have said, okay, we're not going to play this silly little game of yours anymore. We're taking our ball and we're going home. And that's why men aren't interested in serious relationships anymore. But yet, despite the fact we keep telling you this over and over and over again, you keep asking the question because you don't like the answer you're hearing. It's making you look in the mirror and say, what have we done? Why have we reached this point? And rather than take accountability, responsibility, and acknowledgement for that, you keep asking the question, hoping to get a different answer. The bottom line is this. Men have walked away, and more of them are walking away every single day. So serious relationships are done for the near future. And until ladies are willing to accept responsibility, acknowledge the fact that they've treated men like garbage for decades now, and decide to make changes, it's only going to get worse.
Had a date with a nice guy this evening. I knew he would treat me the way I should be treated. Why do I feel like I should run? Oh, girl, you guys tend to do this and self-sabotage your way out of a great thing. This happens with a lot of nice guys. You guys say you want nice guy treatment, but something inside of you says, I want some suspense. I want some drama. I like how nice he is. He's great, but he's too predictable. He's too predictable. I don't want to be able to predict this man. God damn it. That's a problem. That's a problem. You guys look for the excitement. You look for the drama. Get you going. And you can't just deal with a nice guy. I see it all the time. And I hate this. You might need to go to therapy. Ladies, if this is the case for you, you get something good, you want to self-sabotage it away. Why do I feel like I gotta run from the best thing that's hit me in a couple years? Self-sabotaging. Such a good moment. You're addicted to the drama, you ladies. I'm not saying you, I'm saying ladies. Ladies get addicted to this up and down, and I need the excitement. I need to be on my toes. I don't want to say it out loud that I want the suspense, because it makes me sound like the girl that claims the icks. I don't want to be that girl. So I'm just going to say I don't know why I don't like this nice guy. He does everything right, though.
Let's talk about some of the rules that I have for the men in my life.
Oh, good. I just love these.
I will not drive a man anywhere. If we're going somewhere together, he can come pick me up. If I have to drive myself there, then I'm just going to go somewhere alone.
Oh, very novel.
I don't pay for anything for a man. I won't pay for dinner. I won't pay for movie tickets. I won't pay for gifts. I do not buy anything for a man. If I'm going to pay for my own dinner, I'm going to eat it alone. I would much rather eat my dinner by myself. The fact that I'm allowing him to be in my presence, if I go to dinner with a man, I expect for him to pay for my dinner for me.
I find it very rare that any of the women that give this type of advice are ever actually in a successful relationship. I wonder why.
I don't give men my phone number. I don't give men explanations. I don't give men straight answers. I don't answer most of men's questions.
Kind of makes a person wonder, how exactly then do they get to know someone?
I require men to ask the question over and over and over again for me to identify whether or not they're actually serious about wanting to know the answer and to know more about why they want to know the answer.
How delightful. Making men beg. Isn't that appealing?
Sometimes men ask questions just as an ego validation to get you to answer them.
Why do so many single women want to keep other women single? Oh wait, that's right. Because misery loves company.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in the fucking streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
Yeah, this is what happens when a society doesn't follow God's design for sexuality, for gender, for family. Women start crashing out, right? Feminists wake up in their 40s realizing that it was all a lie. Premarital needs to be massively shameful again. Okay, we need to stigmatize it again in America. If you're a Christian sleeping around, you should be under church discipline. Porn needs to be outlawed. But until all this stuff happens, the only people who really have a shot at normalcy and family and marriage life is going to be faithful Christians.
What would you go for? That one, this one, or this one?
Neither.
Why?
I can tell you all three. You already told me she was over a roster. And if she's her friend and she's her friend, none of them are good. You gotta stay true to yourself, King.
What do you think is the body count?
I'm gonna say 15.
Damn.
15. And I'm gonna say over 20.
Body?
Truly.
What's your body count?
4. 4.
So what's the perfect body count for a woman?
For a woman, I'm gonna say under 7.
Under 7?
Under 7.
Damn. So
anything above is crazy.
None of these can have a chance?
Not a chance. You gotta be worthy of yourself, man. You're worth more than that.
But you don't think high body count means more experience?
More experience? I don't give a about more experience.
Shit, what would you rate them then?
Would I rate them?
They good looking.
Nah. You gotta stay true to yourself, man.
3 signs you a Number 1, you smashed 2 or more people in 1 week. I'm not gonna lie, you need to be put down. Cause you's a freaky frog. So they need to call animal control on you. It ain't no reason to be that freaky. Diddy would have loved you. I'm sure you would have been a star at the freak-offs. They would have got a gold plaque of your name and hung it on the wall. Right next to a picture of Diddy's glazed cheeks. Number 2, you had a one-night stand. Oh, you gets down, you don't play. You was one of God's strongest soldiers. No, like you gangster for real, like you need to be put on the front lines. Cause how you somebody you just met and you never speak to them again? Ain't gonna lie, you stone cold. Stone cold Steve Austin. Number 3, you more than one friend in the friend group. You just couldn't choose, huh? You just had to try them all. You know what? That's the greed they talk about in the Bible. Just greedy. Whatever happened to shame? Please bring back shame. I know they're having a field day with you in the group chat. Oh, you didn't think they were gonna tell each other? They talk about you right now. I hope it was worth the embarrassment.
Never take a woman on dates. A date is the only interview where the applicant pays the company. You meet a complete stranger, then you buy dinner. You buy drinks. Why? She hasn't even earned anything. You're investing. She's evaluating. The same woman you're spending $200 or $500 trying to impress will drive across town at 1 a.m. for a man she genuinely wants to sleep with. No reservation is needed for him. The strongest position a man can occupy is not being chosen. It's selecting between women who are already competing for him.
And a divorce lawyer was saying, if you're going to be chasing any man, chase Benjamin Franklin, it's cute and it's funny. And once again, modern women keep on getting this type of stuff wrong. When they say, oh man, this man's going to do this to you, he's going to do that, all this other stuff. Once again, you can go get a job. There's plenty of people out there that have a job. But for a lot of these modern women, their job becomes their personality. It becomes who they are. And they start to think, I'm better than this man because I drive this car. I have this house. I do this. When it comes down to it, with the way that you're acting, you just have more money. You don't have more character. Remember, modern women there's a lot of women that say, I don't want a man that just has money. I want a man with character, integrity, and all of the other things. Why don't you have to have that? And I get there are going to be a lot of women out there that are going to say, well, I've done the inner work and the healing and this and that, but you still have a bad attitude. Your attitude sucks. You need a lot more therapy. But let them tell it, I've done everything and I don't have any more improvement.
If women are so smart, how come they the only mother that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in the situation? Like, y'all think y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this. When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault. You should have seen it coming. Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women, because let me tell you a stat that's shocking all of them.
No accountability as usual.
Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men? What does that tell you?
Now,
it tells you that women are the same man.
Boom.
Damn. So y'all know he ain't shit. And you feel because you in competition with that other ain't shit to have that ain't shit debate. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9, 11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these jump right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society. Because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to reproduce with somebody you know has shown he is not a father. But you do it because you want to.
Exactly. He was cooking. Hey, they just want to be 304s. Let them be 304s. That's okay. But that don't mean you got to come in later on down the line and try to say these 304s. Let them drown.
That man, in order for it to be acceptable for you to be together, he needs to pay for a lot of things. None of that 50-50.
Okay, but why? Why does the man have to pay for things in order to be in a relationship with a woman?
And still needs to treat you as a person with autonomy, have their own hobbies, and he should expect the chores that need to be done in the house, his own chores, to be done by himself. So, not only does he not get a maid in this situation, but he also has to pay a lot for the relationship.
What type of men are some of these women dating? Because honestly, most reasonable men aren't looking for a maid in a relationship. But I hate to break it to a lot of women out there, those same reasonable men aren't going to pay you to be in a relationship with you. There's a word for that.
So yeah, I am pro you treating her like a human being and you paying, because once these women wake up to the bullshit y'all have been putting them under and putting them through, yeah, you're gonna have to pay to get women to even want to be around you for a couple of hours.
No dare. I'm really convinced that a lot of individuals that give this type of advice have never actually been in what is called a healthy relationship. They assume that all relationships with men are bad or toxic, which is really unfortunate because they're actually trying to encourage women to essentially sell themselves to be into relationships.
I keep saying I don't think men should be in charge anymore because they've been in charge this whole time. And look, it's just a bunch of wars, the destruction of the environment, a dependence on a finite resource, a lot of which we get from the most volatile region in the world that we keep purposefully volatile so that we can control the oil trade, but also sell weapons. And it all benefits a small handful of people while everyone else suffers. And when I say I think women should be in charge now, people say, well, what about Liz Truss or Margaret Thatcher? And I just think if you can name all the bad women who have led, we haven't had enough bad women leaders yet. Because there's been so many bad men, I cannot name them all. I'll take your Liz Truss and I'll raise you a Trump, a Netanyahu, a Maduro, a Khomeini, a Kim Jong-un. And those are just current people. There's been so many bad men that you can't remember all the bad men. There's been mediocre men. There's been some okay ones. There's been a lot that have just played out the status quo. There has been maniacs who have responsible for the deaths of millions who we inexplicably have statues of, yet we still are hesitant to put women in charge. Oh, what about Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem? They're still doing a man's agenda. So I just think get all the men out and let women do it for a while. And maybe it will be better, or maybe we'll mess it up in our own spectacular but probably better smelling way. And I think that's fair.
Hot take, but hypergamy is genuinely the stupidest theory I've ever heard come from it online. Like, if your biggest problem that is living in your brain rent-free is the fact that you might be an attractive man dating a woman who you don't find attractive, then you need to get like a hobby or something. You need to be doing something else with your life. Get off of TikTok. That is the stupidest I've ever heard of in my entire life. If you're an attractive man and a woman who does not meet your standards wants to get with you, just don't get with her. It's not that hard. And the fact that men are dissing on women online for having standards that they don't meet, since when is that a you problem? Like, if you want to get out in the field and be dating women, like, honestly, one of the best things you can do is just better yourself. Because even if you don't get a girlfriend in the end, you still become a better person. Like, why is this even an issue? Like, I see all this stuff online about, oh, like, women say he needs to be 6 feet and, you know, women are dissing on men's height, bro. Like, I have seen some very short guys get a whole lot of women. I don't think it's a problem in person if you actually go outside and speak to people. Like, there are women, like, over, like, Bruno Mars and, like, short guys. So, maybe the issue isn't that you're short. Maybe the issue is that you're insufferable to be around. Like, I mean...
Yo, I've dated in other countries, and now that I'm back in the U.S., I can confidently tell you that the U.S. dating culture is... I've had the opportunity to travel and live in other cultures, such as Europe and Latin America, and the U.S. is by far the worst. I stopped dating in the U.S. a long time ago because I was so over it, but since I've been back, I've been observing, y'all are screwed. The U.S. is a lost cause when it comes to dating. It's beyond painful. And before people get defensive, let me say this. It's not just men, it's not just women, it's both. A lot of men here have no idea how to lead anymore. They think leadership means showing money, a car, or some lifestyle on Instagram. But leadership isn't what you have or how many drinks you can buy girls at the bar. It's how you carry yourself. Confidence, presence, knowing how to approach a woman and have a conversation like a normal human being. But then on the other side, a lot of women are playing games. They're cold, standoffish, testing guys, waiting for some perfect 6'5" millionaire who checks every box. So what happens? Men start leading with money, women start leading with attitude, and nobody is actually connecting anymore. Feels like everyone's negotiating a contract instead of getting to know each other. In a lot of other countries, people are just more natural and genuine. Guys make the effort and women are receptive. They talk, they laugh, they flirt. Here it feels like everyone's guarded, calculating, and exhausted. Like I can literally see it in everyone's faces when I'm out. They're in their heads trying to think of the best move or reply or sizing someone up, just ready to judge immediately for any little thing. It's pathetic. And then everyone complains dating is terrible. Yeah, because the culture is broken. It only gets better when both sides change their mindset, drop the ego, and more real connection.
Probably will be for life.
The world wasn't built for men, though. It was built for all of us so we all could have a good life. Also, watching men suffer doesn't mean women are doing better. And if your happiness depends on watching men struggle, that is disturbing. That's genuine human suffering, and you're looking at that like it's a win. But when women struggle, men are expected to have empathy for women, which they typically do. But it's okay to sit here and not care about men struggling. Also, men are on both sides of the extreme where a lot of us ladies were in the middle, which is actually a better place to be when you think about it. The majority of people homeless are men. And yes, some of the most wealthy people in the world are men. But most men are either in the middle or lower, on the lower end. And that's not something to be happy about. And everything that you take for granted every single day was probably built, maintained, and continues to be maintained by men. So men struggling does affect you. If that's the only thing you can care about, then do consider. If men stopped doing things for us today, everything would fall apart.
If I were in my 30s and dating with marriage in mind, this is exactly what I would do. I would go where the kind of man I want to meet actually spends their time. Conferences, beautiful hotel lobbies for coffee, tennis clubs, golf clubs, paddle clubs, even upscale food markets on a Saturday morning. Second, I wouldn't sleep with anybody until we're officially together and exclusive. And while we're dating, I would watch his behavior carefully. If I saw he couldn't be consistent, he was hot and cold, or he told me he wasn't sure he was ready for a relationship, he would be out. I wouldn't spend my precious time trying to figure out why a man cannot properly date me. Third, I'd invest in myself. I would keep learning. I would travel to interesting places, read books, and be into great skincare. Because the man I would be looking for would be someone who is also investing in himself. Fourth, I wouldn't listen to people who've completely given up on dating. You see, the reason many women don't meet a good man isn't because they don't exist. It's because they've stopped believing they do. And if you stop believing that something is possible, you subconsciously start to look for proof that you are right. You see, most women spend years waiting to meet the right man, but very few spend years becoming the right partner.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about, what Benny was saying. You know, there was a woman in his comments that was like, man, you know, this guy is a nice guy. Why do I keep on wanting to pull away from him? Why do I keep on wanting to go in a different direction? Exactly. We continue to blame the nice guy. Oh, you ain't doing this. Oh, you ain't doing that. Oh, you need to work on yourself. Oh, you ain't got to shut your stupid behind up. Shut up. It's always the nice guy's problem. Oh, well, you ain't did this and you really not a nice guy. This woman just said this man is a nice guy. Why don't I want him? Because you're toxic, stupid. You're toxic. That's what men keep telling you. Even if I corrected everything on my side and grew a backbone, I'm still telling you right now, you are not ready for a relationship where you can contribute and be present and be emotionally available. All you bring to the table, Miss Strong, independent woman, don't need no man, is money. You don't have the emotional fortitude. You don't have the emotional capacity to be in a relationship like this.
You can't make this stuff up.
I think women are capable to do anything without a man.
Y'all think women need men?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Why not?
So how we gonna have babies?
Because we run the world.
Like what she said.
I think
How any of the structures gonna get built? How any of the dangerous jobs gonna get fulfilled?
women are capable to do anything without a man, so that's why I don't think that no women need a man.
Never, no logic ever to be found with most of these women these days. Modern women are cooked.
Oh, one more thing. And actually, I'm gay, and anything a man can do, I can do myself. So, hello. What's the past?
You wonder why women are getting passed right on by, changing tires and everything else. Remember, y'all don't need no men, so we gonna let y'all change y'all own tires and everything else. Somebody breaking your house, you go ahead, baby. You get up, you handle it.
Of go.
The past tense of go.
Wait, past tense of go, right?
Yeah. Past tense of go. Past tense of go.
Yeah, our educational system definitely done failed us, y'all.
I really feel like it's
Siri. No, wait.
We're gonna get it.
We can't ask Siri.
It's like it seems so easy to know.
It is easy, I promise you.
Next question.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
What continents are we in right now?
Oh my fucking.
Oh yeah, man.
Hold on, I know all 7.
You can't make this stuff up, man. Stay dangerous, stay smart, man.
No, you're wrong, and this is why. The sprinkle movement comes from a place of low-value women trying to use men in the sense of only treating them as a bank. They're not concerned or interested with a relationship. They just want the man's money. And they will mentally use said man for their monetary gain. And unfortunately, there's many men who we may call simps that haven't realized what is being done to them. So the soft guy era movement has shed light onto that, thus elevating the dating culture for both men and women, because now those men are going to pursue women of worth, not these worthless sprinkles. So they're out here, they're down bad and big mad. And us soft guy era men, we up. Drizzle.
I have a quick question for you guys. Do you think women are chivalry?
Goddamn right, and you beat the shit out of it on the way out the door too. I'm gonna end this argument with one thing most women have said and most guys have probably heard. Notice how I said most, not everybody. Oh my god, he's too nice to me. Do you realize how goofy you sound when you say that? We have two types of guys. We have the guys who will treat you like shit, and the guys who won't. But the thing is, these are simps now. You guys don't like these guys anymore because they're being slanderized, so you don't want one. So all we have are the guys who will treat you like shit. And since they're not getting anything, they're going to become guys who will treat you like shit. So now this is all we have. And you know who created them? You know who gave them the chance? You. Blame yourself. This ain't on us anymore. You, chivalry, and I hope you're happy. I don't want to be this. Do you realize how horrible this is? How horrible it is to be this guy? God, it sucks. I want to be this guy, but nobody wants to give this guy a chance.
Men love women under far less conditions than women love men.
That sounds like the opposite of love to me.
Well,
if you love under far less conditions, that sounds like desperation.
If you take a majority of men versus a majority of women, a majority of men would like a majority of women. However, a majority of women definitely don't like a majority of men.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think women love more. Because when they pick somebody, they're selective about it. They put more time and energy into it. Whereas for a guy, the woman is a lot more replaceable. That's why even Sneeko over here was like, oh, you know, you might step out of another or whatever. It's like, okay, well, how much do you actually love your woman? Are you willing to do something like that? Like,
that has nothing to do with how much you love the person.
It absolutely does.
Why?
Because it requires you to step out of your own selfish frame of reference to see how your partner feels about something. If you only prioritize the things that you want in life, that says something about how you view love of another person.
It's not really prioritizing, it's just doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's called being selfish. It's usually what you do when you don't love somebody.
Black women are the most unmarried human population on earth because of their unrealistic standards. The S got cut off and there was a lot of stuff he said, but that's facts. I'm gonna have to agree with that. Why I'm agreeing with this is because how come I'm tall? I'm 6'2". I got nice chocolate skin and I'm very attractive, but barely get any black women. And I thought this is the type of build y'all black women want. And I get barely any chicks. I have tried Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok DMing black women for years with different approaches. And I get 0 from my state, Minnesota. And the ones that do respond live outside of my state or they live outside of the US. Instagram and TikTok, majority of them don't respond and they don't follow back. I live in an all-white city, and so I have to go to the cities near me to shoot for black women. And in the past, I pulled most black women I approach, but unfortunately, I get ghosted a lot, which is odd. Because why would you give me your number or social media, but not try to get to know me? A lot of them don't even try to get to know me. They just ghost me after little conversations, or I try to plan a date and then they ghost me. Like, what was the point? It's hard for me to just even hit. And I'm 19 with 0 bodies because black women give me no play. I'm very attractive. I'm 6'2". I got nice chocolate skin. So what about other black men that is not as tall as me, and that's not as attractive as I am, and that's not dark skin? You see why dudes date or marry outside of the race? Y'all black women play so hard to get.
Why do recent studies show that 74% of women want a man who pays for everything? Is it greed? Is it gold digging? Or is it something deeper? We're living in the soft life era. Luxury, ease, peace. But here's what people miss. Research shows that it's not just about money. For many women, it's about security. It's about having the freedom to rest, create, and build a family without carrying the constant burden of survival on their shoulders. Studies show that women feel safer and more valued when their partner provides stability. It's about emotional and physical safety, knowing that someone's truly got your back. And yes, it's about feminine energy thriving best when it's not burdened by financial stress. It doesn't make women weak, it makes them strategic. Because a woman at peace can pour into her love, family, and purpose. The provider man isn't just a paycheck, he's stability. He's the safe space where a woman can finally let her guard down. Critics say that this is outdated, but why is it outdated for a man to protect and provide if that's what so many women deeply want? The question isn't whether women should want this, it's why we're shaming them for it. Is true partnership about splitting everything 50-50 or about each person bringing their different strengths to the table? Let's talk about it. Write your thoughts in the comments.
Women don't know what they want. They don't have a clue. Women say they want a masculine man, then they get a man that gives them boundaries and standards, and now he's too controlling. And then they say they want an emotionally available man, but then he's too soft and sweet. Now he feels like, literally, what do you actually want? Most women have no idea. They think they want the man that is the highly esteemed, highly respected, high earning, high value, masculine man. But I promise you, being with an entrepreneur or a business owner as a woman, if your love languages are quality time, ooh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Because not only do you have to hold for the vision that he has, but also a lot of the times he's not in the household to hold it with you. So if you want a man that has a bunch of time to give you, he's probably broke.
So is it true that women really want marriage, or do they just want to feel chosen?
I think the latter. I think most women just want to feel chosen.
I think so.
I don't think women know what they want. I don't. Most women, not all women, obviously.
I just need to have a gap session about dating nowadays because I don't know if it's just me, but I am not made for the like surface level BS that goes on these days where it's just like people are out here playing so many games and it's like, I don't know, I'm an old soul. Does that make sense? Like I always feel like I literally was born in the wrong generation. Like I like 70s, 80s music, like 90s. Like I'm literally always listening to throwbacks. Like I like old style love, like traditional, like that's my vibe. I'm not into this whole hookup culture, like let's see where this goes. And it's so crazy to me how many people are just hurt. Like they're hurt people, which is why they continue to hurt other people, because you're just walking around with all these wounds where it's just like, if you just take the time to just fix yourself a little bit, then you'll meet the right partner. For example, the whole like waiting to respond thing, I just can't get behind that. I don't know if it's just me, but this whole like playing hard to get, like don't seem too interested, but then don't respond too quickly. Like what? Like literally what the F? Like I can't get behind it. You guys, I just can't. Why can't we just be who we are? Why is everything a strategy? Why does everything need to be like manipulated? That's not showing up as your true self, and then you're giving a false perception to that other person. It's the strangest thing to me. I get the whole flirting, like I'm not saying like don't have fun, but the whole strategy, like don't seem too interested. But I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, like it's actually wild. I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, that's my rant of the day. If you can relate, you can relate. I don't know, but I never complain. I had a yap.
So I do understand the argument that Destiny was making, and he was saying, you know, because I go through so many rigorous standards, then that does mean that you can make the argument that because I go through so many rigorous standards, well, you do this, do that, do this, do that. I'm looking for a specific person, right? And so that means I love more, because when I love this thing, I've looked and I've searched so long that when I find it, I'm going to give it everything that I have. You could make that argument, but once again, you could also make the argument that there's a lot of people. I mean, and that's what I keep saying. We always we want to go towards the woman is better because she thinks this way and she does things this way, and it's simply not true. It's simply not true at all. You know, if you look at it, let's say a man, like let's say a lot of people need to get into college, and you need a certain GPA to do that. Some colleges say, you know what? We won't make you have that certain GPA. Just maintain this, give me these transcripts, and you're in. You're gonna have to bust your behind because we want to maintain a certain standard. You're gonna have to still make good grades, but I do understand that maybe, you know, for whatever reason you're struggling, then your GPA wasn't what it was supposed to be, or what it wasn't. It's not the same as other people's, right? That might have like a 4.0 or like a I don't know, a 3.5 or something like that. I don't know, on a 4.0 scale. We don't have the same quote unquote rigorous standards, but that doesn't mean the quality strings. You have a lot of jobs out here paying a good amount of money, right? But they're not Facebook. So I don't have to go to Facebook to get paid. I can get paid at one of the other jobs that doesn't have 10 rounds of whatever it is. I can go over here. I can get that. And that's what you're seeing from a lot of men. That mindset. Oh, I don't have to go to Facebook or Netflix. Yeah, Facebook and Netflix, they pay a lot. Amazon, Microsoft, they pay a lot, but you also you hear a lot of complaints about their stress level. Oh man, we're raising our standards, performance feedback, and all that other stuff. there's a lot of people, there are probably people that like it, but there's a lot of people that hate it. They absolutely despise it. And a lot of people have had these companies pull the rug from underneath them. So they go and find something else. They say, I don't even want to be bothered with that. That's what you're seeing with a lot of men. Listen, if I can go find a job that pays me pretty well, location's good, hours are good, might not have the absolute best benefits, but the benefits are still pretty good, I'm choosing that. That's what a lot of passport brothers are doing. They're going and finding something where, well, you know, this country isn't the best, and this and that. Okay, well, you know, it doesn't matter to me. It don't got to be the best as far as U.S. standards, but it's something. So if you guys are going to continue to talk about these rigorous standards and make men go through something where, you know, they get into a relationship and they got to hear you nagging the whole entire time, you're going to make their life horrible. I'm just trying to push you. My life is, I'm always in a constant level of stress because of you. I'm not enjoying my life. Yeah, I can go on vacation. I can go to the finest coffee shops and stuff like that, but I am not enjoying my life with you.